It's quite hard for me to believe that it has been 15 years since New Life Day. New Life Day is a moment in my personal calendar, a bit like a before and after in terms of who I am, basically. My diary was founded in 1996, and that's 2 years before that moment, and there is almost nothing of me left, if you like, from that time. And reading what I've written in my diary at that time and comparing it to any time after 98 it's like two different people. There are probably 5 years of my life that are the most important in terms of creating who I've become. And I don't mean by this the constant evaluation that I go through all the time, as you'll probably have known if you're a sort of follower of mine, even in the short time I've had the ability to post videos and constantly amend my life, and improve myself. No, what I'm talking about here is the foundations on which I build and progress from, foundations which have served me very well for 15 years. That's just under half my life, and it's served me extremely well. It's never been destroyed and rewritten. It's really something that has been absolutely pivotal, basically. Everything that I've become was sort of based on that. If you want to say, those 5 years, just over 5 years I suppose, would have started in the middle of September 1997 and ended sort of in the middle of 2000 and, well, I suppose the start maybe of 2005, possibly. And basically, it's the time between my Annus Mirabilis and my Annus Horibilis, which are the most important years when considering, the framework from which I've always worked on. They include the changes, I suppose, that have turned me from, being a child into being an adult for a start. But they involve so many different levels. Not only my academic peak, when I was at university doing my dissertation in 2003, but also things like, my spiritual development, overcoming the first and second questionings which are included between 98 and 2003. Both of them are a year in there. New Life Day was the conclusion of the first questioning, which actually started the year before in 2007, and its completion started, was halfway through what I call my great year, my Annus Mirabilis, a fantastic year, the best year that I've ever had, and it's August the 8th, which was that pivotal moment between before and after. And, I've spent August the 8th ever since celebrating that point and remembering its importance. I've done it in all sorts of different ways. Sometimes I've sort of thrown a bit of a party and I've had people round. Sometimes I've gone away sort of on a retreat into the woods. Sometimes I'm working. It's a normal working day, but I mark it some way. On that actual day, me and both my sisters were on holiday It would have been the summer holidays. It would have been one of the last sort of summer holidays that I suppose I had in the school, in terms of schooling anyway. And my parents were still working, obviously. So I was in the safe hands of my nan. Her husband, my grandfather, had died the year before, and his dying was a huge factor, if not the breaking point, at which I went into a spiritual questioning, and basically that's what led to this moment. I rejected everything. I rejected everything that I had been brought up with and taught. And, you know, a death in the family hits people in different ways, and that's how it hit me, basically. And it took a year for me to come to terms with it. And one of the big ways that I came to terms with it was growing a garden. It was the first time that I had done a vegetable patch. And I was able to talk to his husband, his wife, or his widow, basically, and you know, I suppose I came to terms with it on that day. I don't know why that day particularly. I do know that in the afternoon we all went out to the castle, to Lincoln Castle. Me, both my sisters and my nan, and we saw battle reconstructions and all sorts. It was one of those sort of try your hand at, you know, medieval archery and all that sort of stuff. We didn't really do anything apart from sort of walk around and you know, admire all the people in costume and stuff like that. I can't remember how that sort of fits in with with this sort of coming together of, you know, a before and an after, this moment of epiphany. It certainly didn't happen when I was at the castle, but I do remember that that's one of the things that we did on that day. So it's strange to think that there's been 15 years since then. It's really weird, and you know, it's still very, very important to me. I still remember, you know, I just think that it was the start of, maybe it was going to happen anyway, I don't know, but I always put the start of my my journey from being, you know, like a child to an adult as being that point, August the 8th, 1998. And so, you know, now it's August the 8th, 2013. And I'm still remembering, and I'm still celebrating, and, you know, this year I've decided that I'm going to go on a little trip. I remember when I went to Blackpool several years ago, I enjoyed very much going to Blackpool Pleasure Beach, more than I thought I would, really. I've never been a big sort of theme park person, but actually I quite enjoy it. So I am going to Lightwater Valley, in fact, which is near Ripon, which isn't too far away. Yeah, I'm just going to have fun and sort of enjoy myself. I think it's important. I do think it's important. You know, some years I take it more seriously than others. And this year, well, I'm thinking about it quite seriously because it's sort of a milestone year, if you like. I'm also, you know, just enjoying the fact that I have become an adult. I have gone through all those learning experiences, and I am based. I have become what I've become because of having gone through all the trials and all the tribulations that came out from that point. And hopefully it will continue to serve me well long into the future. I'm sure it's a day that I will never forget. It's possibly a date that will never be surpassed. It would take an awful lot, for that to be surpassed.